Welcome to Beyond the Deal.
The podcast where we believe beyond every deal, there's a person.
Beyond every challenge is an opportunity.
And beyond every success, there's a story worth sharing. I'm your host, Erin Liu.
And I'm Paul McAllister. And in each episode, we sit down with inspiring entrepreneurs
and industry leaders to talk about the journey behind their success.
Not just what they do, but who they are.
Let's dive in.
I was an ICU nurse, I guess, directly before real estate. I worked in Detroit as a nurse through COVID, and I lived in Windsor, so I crossed the border every day to work on the floor.
What advice you can tell people who actually have been through the same thing? Let's say if they want to do their first investment, what advice they would give to you?
I'd say right now is probably the best time to buy because everybody is terrified. And that's literally the best time to buy investment properties when everyone is scared.
How did you deal with the parents' expectation? Because when I choose from quit engineering to become mortgage broker, they think I stepped down.
Yeah.
And they were not happy and then said, you spent 4 years on the university, you graduate, and you could have a stable job. Why did you do that?
Right.
And what's your why that made you make this bold move, and how did you handle the parents' expectations?
I didn't listen to them from the from the beginning. You know, I always made up my own mind for if I wanted to do something, it was gonna get done. I don't care what anybody else around me is. Right now is a fantastic time to buy in the Windsor market, especially with everything we have going on to make people scared, like the U.S. Canada tension and everything. The tariff situation. But what people don't realize is once the market flips, we're gonna benefit as much as we don't benefit right now.
Hey everyone, today I have a special guest, Milena Simsic. She's the leader of the Windsor Social Realty, an entrepreneur, also a community builder. And we have lots in common. We both love dancing salsa, we're both entrepreneurs, and we both end up married with a quiet husband, Chinese husband. And we can discuss more later about that. And what I admire about Milena is she has built a successful business in the real estate and helping people build a wealth through the real estate. And also she has built a successful personal branding. And she has over how many followers on your Instagram?
Instagram's 9K.
9K followers
on
TikTok. Okay, so a huge followers on the social media, and I would like to have her here to share her story. And thank you for being here, Milena.
Thank you for having me, Erin. My husband's gonna love listening to this episode. Quiet Chinese.
Same as Jack.
Yeah, they get along so well.
That's awesome. And for people who are meeting you first time, even though we all know you're really popular and well known, and give us a little bit about introduction about yourself.
For sure. My name's Milena Simsic. I run the team Windsor Social Realty here in Windsor. I also run the Windsor Real Estate Insider magazine, which has over 8,000 subscribers, and they explain every single neighborhood of Windsor here. And I also run Windsor REI Social, which is the largest real estate investor event in Windsor, Ontario. I could go on and on, but I'm sure you have questions.
That's amazing. Okay, my first question will be before the people know that you have been successful on the real estate. Who was Milena before the real estate?
I was an ICU nurse, I guess, directly before real estate. I worked in Detroit as a nurse through COVID, and I lived in Windsor, so I crossed the border every day to work on the floor. And I guess you're asking before real estate. I had no social media. I was pretty quiet. I just put my head down and worked and saved money and found myself in this career where I have to, be very extroverted and talk a lot more than I used to. It's funny, patients in ICU, they don't talk too much. It's most of the time they're intubated. So so that was me before any sort of real estate.
Wow. So as we all know, nurse is a high demand position, and also you can make a good money, especially you work in the States. What inspired you to make such a career switch from the nurse to the real estate?
For sure. So I remember my first year of nursing, they kind of call it like the first year hell when you first start as a nurse, like when you get right on the floor because you don't really know, what's going on. You're learning. And I remember that first year vividly where I was looking at other nurses that were about, 5 to 10 years older than me. They started around the same time that I did when I was 22 years old. And they were already having, VAC issues, mental health issues, like some kind, addiction issues, unfortunately. I just did not see a single person that was, happy to be on the floor except for some very extraordinary people, that made it to 20 plus years, but
Because it's really intense.
it's very intense. So it's very physically demanding, mentally demanding. You're on your feet all day and you have to think very, very hard at the same time. So I saw that and I told myself, like, I don't think I can do this for the next 10 years. So I was exploring other avenues. I thought to myself, okay, you know what? I think maybe I'll go to med school or I'll become a CRNA or a nurse practitioner or something. Like I wanted something beyond it. And then I looked into investing. And then I found this real estate investing podcast. I believe it was called the Canadian Real Estate Investing Podcast by Andrew Lyons. And I started listening to that back and forth from work. And I thought, okay, you know what? I'm going to try this. I'm going to work as a nurse for like 4 or 5 years and invest in real estate. And, worst case scenario, I end up, bankrupt. I just keep working, right? But best case scenario, yeah, right? But best case scenario, I could, potentially retire in about 10 years. So it was between either that or med school. And I said, if it doesn't work, then maybe I'll just pursue nursing and then med school after. So I bought my first couple of properties while I was working on the floor. So my first investment property was actually a 6-unit building in Windsor.
Wow.
And so, I moved into that.
But how did you just think about just buy a 6-unit instead of just a single house?
Originally, the plan was to buy a duplex, but my realtor actually pushed me to buy something a little bit bigger.
Okay.
At the time, I was pre-approved for it. Like, I got a CMHC loan at 15% down.
Just even though that time, that was early.
Yes.
By thinking of that.
I think it was like 6 years ago or so. Yeah. So, I got it at a really good price, obviously, in Windsor, and prices have over doubled since then. So I held on to that property even till now. And it worked out really well. I upped all the rents. I was making over 2,000 cash flow just from that one building after mortgage, expenses, everything, like while living it.
Wow.
So
you make money of it.
Exactly. And I'm like, well, if I just do this, I get 2 buildings like this, I can replace my nursing income entirely. And that's what I did. I got my second one. It was a duplex conversion and I house hacked that. And I'm like, I don't need to work anymore. Like I literally don't have to work for the rest of my life, like literally just off of these 2. And then the appreciation from that forced in with the market got me to 7-figure net worth as well. So I'm like, I could have worked in nursing for 20 plus years and not gotten this far financially. So, that's what kind of got me full time into real estate. After I got those 2 properties, I'm like, there's no need for me to stay in this anymore. And then I pursued my passion and just went for it.
So you became an investor first, and then you realized this is your passion. So you become a realtor. It's amazing.
I could have done like 4 years of med school, like 300K in debt. And my parents wanted me to. They were so unhappy with this, by the way. Like, I have Vulcan parents, right? So they were like nurse, engineer, doctor.
It's like a
right?
Chinese culture.
We're the exact same. Like, that's why I married the Chinese man. Our in-laws get along so well. It's like the same people, but so.
But how did you deal with the parents' expectation? Because when I choose from quit engineering to become mortgage broker, they think I stepped down.
Yeah.
And they were not happy. And they said, you spent 4 years on the university, you graduate, and you could have a stable job. Why? They didn't understand. Why did you do that?
Right.
And what's your why that made you make this bold move? And how did you handle the parents' expectation?
I just wish I had like a in-depth explanation. I just didn't listen. I didn't listen to them from the from the beginning. You know, I always made up my own mind for if I wanted to do something, it was gonna get done. I don't care like what anybody else around me is
You
saying.
just have the belief in you
Yeah.
at that time, knowing this will work.
Exactly.
You trust the numbers.
Hey, that's the thing. It's like I ran the math. I'm like, you can tell me about your feelings all you want, but the math is working out here. It's like, what you're gonna argue with this? Like, and you know what? It ended up working out, and now they're very happy that.
Now they're happy because you prove it.
Exactly, and like they'll see anyway. So I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing.
That's amazing because usually, especially when we were at a younger age, we had a thought. So we didn't know if it's gonna work, and even especially with the parents, the families on the side have a different voice.
Yes.
What advice you can tell people who actually have been through the same thing? Let's say if they want to do their first investment, what advice they would give to you? And especially in the current markets, people are scary. And I know it's different with the property that you bought 6 years ago, right? Nowadays could be different. What's advice and stress you will give to the people?
Well, you know what? The second property I bought was was actually in a higher market than we are in.
Like during the COVID?
Yeah, it was like right before COVID. So it's like right around the same price or a little bit higher. And I was making $3,000 a month off of that profit, you know, and it was, a duplex conversion.
Right.
And you could still do that in Windsor. I've done it for my clients over and over again this year. Like I got one of my clients a turnkey duplex for like $490K, and he's making $2K a month off of it here. Another one with a duplex conversion, like very similar, and plus they increase the value of the property. So that second one I bought, I actually made like $150K in equity, and I'm making cash flow off of it. So I'd say like right now is probably the best time to buy because everybody is terrified. And that's like literally the best time to buy investment properties when everyone is scared.
Exactly.
Dude,
That's the same.
Yeah, everybody wanted to buy in 2022, but that was like literally the worst. Like we were
The
at
high points.
the 720K average in Windsor here, and now we're sitting around like 540K the past few years. So, but there's more inventory, so you have more choices. So yeah, I would say like buy now if you're looking at timing, which I would think you should. But
Yeah. So because people are always looking for the best timing, but there's no best timing.
exactly.
Because if it's all about the numbers. If the number works, it works, no matter what market that you're at.
Exactly. I would have said that exact same thing.
Yeah, and it's funny because when we run the numbers for the people for the pre-approval, and sometimes they have a limited budget. And the strategy we actually give to them for us as an investor, for you as an investor, buy a duplex or multi-units. That actually help you to boost your budget by using the rental income from the other units, even though you're actually living in one unit as a first-time home buyer. So that's actually the strategy we recommend for the current client right now. And for you, why does the multifamily becomes your strategy for your investing and also the real estate?
Yeah, per multifamily, I think it's like it's a no-brainer. Like first of all, people are always going to need a place to live. Doesn't matter what goes on with the world, they will always need a physical place to live unless we start living in pods like the Matrix or something. Secondly, like even if the place burns to the ground, you still have land value, right? Like you cannot lose on it if you run your numbers correctly and you make sure you're mitigated on risk. But you have essentially what you have is somebody else paying your mortgage for you and paying for your retirement for you, and you get cash flow on top of that.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? It's like, it's crazy. Like I looked into stocks and index funds, and I considered putting my money into an index fund making 7% a year. But even then, like you're at the mercy of the entire economy, and it's up in the air. But you have something physical with real estate. It's like there, you can touch it. Like it's not going to go anywhere. It's literally the earth. Like
Yeah, I think the real estate is the safest play
Yes.
if you want to make money from the investment. So because I don't know nothing about stock, I don't know nothing about mutual fund, all those type of other financial investment, and the real estate is the actual stuff there, seeing there, and you can touch.
I think it's pretty easy to understand. Honestly, it's like it's there. You can see it. But yeah, I would say like right now is a fantastic time to buy in the Windsor market, especially with everything we have going on to make people scared, like the U.S. Canada tension and everything. Yeah, the tariff situation. But what people don't realize is once the market flips, like we're gonna benefit as much as we don't benefit right now. So not that I would count on it. Like I never say to count on appreciation, but the numbers just make sense.
Yeah, so you're more a cash flow person. When we're investing, are you more cash flow or appreciation?
Cash flow.
A cash flow.
Yeah, I do believe in forced appreciation. I never count on the appreciation of a city as a whole unless I'm holding on to it for 10 years.
Right.
Inflation's always been.
Because it's hard. You never know what's gonna happen to like the war, right? And then that's gonna impact the economy. But cash flow will never change.
Yes, that's true. I do want to clarify. Like I don't think just cash flow is a good thing too. Like you want to make sure when I buy property, I'm gonna hang on to it for the entirety of the mortgage. Like that's my plan. So it's paid off by the tenant. So no matter what happens, like I'm gonna come out on top at the end of the day. But it's such a great buffer against inflation, and the amount of ways you can move money around in real estate, like the refinance and then investing into other properties. I'm sure you know a lot about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I was just talking to my husband yesterday that we had a property, our first property when we moved to Windsor from Alberta. That was back in 2017 we bought. And we have refinanced 3 times. That will be like 300,000 because 100,000 each time since 2017 until the last year that we did our third one. Like I told him like how much we have to done or how many hours we have to work. Doesn't matter. He's engineer, he make good money. And how are we able to just save 300,000 over the past 6 years?
Exactly.
We can't do that, right? But because we own a property and we take benefit of refinancing, appreciation, do the renovation, the BRRRR strategy, and that's how we can do it.
Yes, exactly. 100% agreed with you. And you waited, still 10 years for that, right? So it's not a quick gain, like 10 to 20 years, you're going to see this
Right.
with any property that you buy.
Right.
So
Every 2 to 3 years you do this because the first one just natural appreciation, you did it, and then the second one that's we still have some room because the market increased, right? And we got lucky. And the third one was actually the BRRRR strategy. We actually did renovation and forced appreciation for the value, and that's how we take out more equity. So yeah, and we always tell the friends or the clients that when they are hesitating, like I actually regret I should buy the property early.
Yes.
I wish I can buy more early instead of waiting, right? Otherwise we could do something more. But there's if you actually start thinking about that, just run a number, find a professional, and make your first purchase as your duplex. That if, like you said, if someone can actually paying your mortgage, so why not do that, right?
it's funny you mentioned that. Like I had an easier time getting financing for the 6-plex that I did for the single family conversion. So I 100% agree with you. Like start with a duplex or something. Like anything, literally get your foot in the way.
Or it doesn't have to be legalized. On the lender that they actually will be okay with the non-conforming or self-contained unit as a separate entry that they can still use the rental income, which is crazy. Like why not taking benefit of that? Yeah. So speaking of Windsor, I know you grew up in Windsor.
I was born and raised here. Yeah.
So you know pretty much about what's going on here since you were later on to now. And I also know you are a community builder. You actually, for me, in my eyes, you represent Windsor. And tell about I don't want to focus on the real estate market for this one, but I do want to know in your point of view that why Windsor is unique compared with other city or province, that when people are so scared to buy, the Toronto market is, going down and then people are scared. But why Windsor is unique?
Yeah, I think a lot of reasons Windsor's unique. The first 2 obvious ones are it's the southernmost city, like in all of Canada. That's number one. So we're just getting warmer and warmer every year. I think we're gonna be like the Florida of Canada soon. Other than that, we are the one city in all of North America that has the strongest cross-border connection, literally throughout all of North America. The closest thing that you have is San Diego to Mexico, and people do cross the border there to work, by the way. They live in Mexico. But it's not nearly like the same amount of traffic as we have between Windsor and Detroit. So we have about 4,000 cross-border workers coming back and forth every single day. I was one of them.
Yeah.
And you make a lot of good American money and you bring it back to Canada.
That's fun.
Into Windsor. And then we have the Gordie Howe Bridge coming up soon, hopefully, if the yellow band, or orange, he's orange, right? Across the border will allow that to open up soon. Yeah, and I think like that really makes Windsor strong with just those two like geographical data points, right?
That we have a benefit on
Yeah,
that.
we literally have like Toronto right across the border. There's a few million people living right across us. So yeah, I think Windsor is really unlike any city in North America here. And on top of that, we're the cheapest large city in terms of average home price in all of Ontario. And we're one of the most affordable in all of Canada. So it's just a matter of time before people start to catch up, and they are catching up. Like, there's a lot of people moving into the city, but I think we have so much more room to grow here.
It's amazing. That's good to hear. And like I'm proud of you actually trying to bring the Windsor in people's vision, you know, because before like 2017, there's a single family home is only like a 250,000, right? And now how much it is?
So you're like 800, 900, depending.
Yeah.
They're the same thing you would buy that for that price.
Wow. Yeah, and the numbers still work nowadays if you buy something Windsor.
Yeah, the rents have gone up with, with the prices. So, we have still under 4% vacancy rate. Across Ontario, we're seeing like a lot of multifamily vacancies. This has been a trend lately, but Windsor's still holding pretty steady because of our population growth. So, yeah, I'm not too concerned with, the fundamentals there, but yeah, that's
amazing. And when you running the Windsor's largest network event, REI Social, what was your intention doing that? What inspired you to do that?
When I was working as a nurse, we had a networking event here in Windsor that, got canceled after a while. And then I went through COVID and I wasn't, really talking to anybody then. I just personally, like, I craved community. Like, I wanted people around me that wanted to do the same thing that I was doing. So I built this event for the person that I was, like, 5 years ago when I was looking for this. I'm like, I wanted to help other people as well, and it just feels good, to be around other people that are doing the same thing.
The connection.
Exactly. And it's hard to find, real estate investors because it's either you're very against it or you love it, right?
And it's hard to find from your family friends around it.
Exactly. Yeah. So I built it like, for myself. If there was somebody else I wanted to start, or they're in it right now and they don't really have those connections around them. So it started as, a small get together in winology, and I ran it every month for a couple of years, and then I built it into something bigger. You were at the last couple of events. So we run them quarterly with like about a couple hundred people. So
it was amazing. Like I would say, it's really amazing and successful. And what I admired about you doing this is you bring people together and have them build connection. Because doesn't matter if it's on the personal life or the business, the network, the connection is really important for us. And you just did this amazing things, and I really appreciate that we have someone like you to do that.
I appreciate your support. All the time.
I love that, because even though as a business owner that we all eager and looking for a connection, or also meet someone that who can either click with you or can help you to see a bigger world.
Yes, exactly.
So that's the type of event actually being helpful. We talk with the people who has the same mindset, right? That were interested in investment.
Every time something major in my life has changed, it's because I talked to somebody else or I met somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I have to take a little detour here because you are actually the reason that I fall in love with the salsa. Oh. I have to really thank you for that. Because it's life-changing for me. And I'm glad we went to the brunch and then you actually say, hey, let's go tonight. And I just, cause I was shy. I didn't know that if I can do it. I've been thinking to do that, but I need a push and then to have someone to bring me over. And I'm glad you did this to me. And I just went on that night and I fell in love with it. It's become my part of life. I really appreciate it.
I'm so happy. You know, I remember that brunch when we went out too. And when I was talking to you, you reminded me of myself before I wanted to dance. Because we were talking about, our lives and like where we're heading, your struggles and all of that. And I thought like, this would be perfect for you because it personally helped me.
I need it.
Yeah.
I need it because I just gave birth. I think like I was on the 8th or 7th month after my second baby. And I really needed opening, like, to, I don't know, I need a release.
Yeah.
Because when you run a business, you have a baby, you have a toddler. I need something that to help me.
The body moving your body really calms down your nervous system and it keeps you in tune with your body and your feelings. So, it helped me with my Mercy related.
Yeah.
So it's, I'm glad it was helpful for you. I think dance is like a great
It's
thing
amazing. And you actually have people have a different connection. And with the music, I just feel like after a long day, I went to dance. I just feel like, oh my God, the life is so worth it.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel.
I feel the exact same way.
Because our day be intense, right? So it's intense industry. Like when we have our day busy, but like dancing definitely help us to release a lot.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's a very stressful industry. The real estate, if you're in sales and especially, there's always something going wrong. The transaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear it. Dance is definitely it.
Really, thank you for that. I appreciate. And also, looking back for the past years, I know you were hustling. You're still, and you work hard. Non-sleep, sleepless. Looking back for the past year, what has changed your point of view, being to define a success?
Yeah, so I reached a point in my career, I think it was my first 2 years of being a realtor. I had very quick success, and this was like isn't the worst market. Like when we dropped 30% in a year. Then my first year I made, $300K, and then I upped it the second year and I built a team within a year of starting as a realtor.
That was fast.
It was very fast. And the main thing that drove me was running away from nursing. Like literally I told myself if I fail at this, like I have to do something, so I'm gonna have to go back. And everybody's gonna see that I failed.
Right.
So I put myself out on social media from the very beginning to give myself like that the accountability from people watching me as well. And I think because I grew so, like, I was doing it based off fear, like entirely off
You want to
fear.
prove to the people that you made a decision, prove to your family.
Exactly, and I did.
That was your motivation, but you made it.
Yeah, and I did, but the thing is, I gave myself like an autoimmune condition after 2 years of my
burnout.
Yeah, I burnt out. So I gained some weight. I wasn't feeling good, and then eventually I'm like, I can't keep doing this anymore. Like I just didn't have the motivation. I was stable at that point. I achieved what I wanted to achieve, but now it's like I don't.
But you feel drained.
Yeah, you feel drained, exactly. So from there I took a bit of a break to kind of focus on my health and everything, because I'm like, this isn't worth it if I don't feel healthy, if I don't feel good, if I'm not spending time with family, if I'm
That's not your goal.
Exactly. Like I did this to be able to do that, and now I'm doing the complete opposite. So I took some time to really reflect on that. And after a few months I had a big transformation, and dance was part of this. Like dance was actually a huge part of it. And I started salsa, and then because I started that, I was more in tune with my body and everything. And I lost some weight. I started eating healthy. I cleansed up my diet entirely. I reversed, this, I had like hypothyroidism, and my lab started getting back to normal, which was insane.
Wow.
And just everything kind of, took off from there. After I got healthy and I started feeling more like myself, and I wasn't chasing business based on fear or like how my family or how everybody else perceived me, it grew exponentially and it felt easy. Like I actually felt easy. Like I wasn't chasing anything. It was just coming.
With the flow.
Yeah, because you're calm. Like
Yeah.
it's like
It's the energy.
yeah, it's the energy. It's
And you attract to people who actually have the same energy of you. You don't have to chase anymore.
exactly. Yeah. So I was definitely like in that pursuit era in those 2
That's
years.
amazing to hear.
Yeah.
Because I can tell that as a business owner, it's scary to pause, to stop, but you made that decision, which is really great.
Thank you.
Yeah, I still don't know if I can do it. And, but you have to figure out what you actually want, right? What's your why?
Well, during that pause too, things that didn't belong in my life got out of my life at the same time. So
The
like
toxic.
yeah, the toxic
Everything.
relationships, a couple of people in the business that weren't supposed to be there left naturally as I was improving myself. So it literally was just, focus, like you are the business, like you literally are the business. So if you improve yourself, your business is going to naturally improve around you. So you don't have to worry about taking a break. Like
That's
you're
so
literally
true.
working on the business when we're by ourselves.
Exactly. That's a good saying. I love that. So that could be the one advice you tell people that who actually are struggling running their business. Work on yourself first, and then the others gonna come naturally.
Later.
That's amazing. Wow, that's really good to hear. And also, I know you have been successfully build a personal branding, or even though the business branding, that because you're your business brand. And I love your social media. I love how you present yourself.
Thank you.
Has that building the branding comes intentionally or just come naturally happen? So when you keep doing your business.
I think it kind of happened naturally as I evolved. Like at the beginning, it definitely wasn't natural. I didn't have any social media coming into this. When I got into it initially, I told myself I needed to build my social media in order to get any clients because I had no connections in the industry. So I put out like 400 videos. I'm not even 400, I counted in my first year on TikTok. And I grew very quickly, like with the 20K followers and all of that. And originally I was talking to, I was educating the person that I was a few years ago. So my motto back then was to teach the person that's one step behind me something on social media. And that worked out really well for me, like pumping out educational content. Right now, the magazine is kind of my platform for that, for teaching people about the Windsor market.
Yeah.
But yeah, for my branding, for it to evolve, like I think it's changed as I've changed as well, because your branding, it's you. Like you're
Your brand.
exactly, and you can't escape that.
No.
Right? So your business is also going to be a reflection of you as well.
Right.
So yeah, I think it's just evolved as I've grown as a person, as my business has followed me. So I just record what I do. Essentially, right now it's been like listing videos, podcasts, in Toronto, some speeches. I did that pageant for a bit. Yeah, the Miss Windsor pageant. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
How was that experience?
it was good. It was similar to the dance, I guess.
Yeah.
Dance a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good to know how I present on stage. You learn a lot about how like your energy, really, like how you represent yourself, right? Mm-hmm. So that's the reason I went into it. I did it once before 3 years ago. The main reason was to see like the difference between what I did 3 years ago and what I did today.
What's the difference?
It's night and day.
Wow.
I'm just a lot calmer. I look healthier. I'm proud to be there, and
You're more confident.
More confident, yeah. And I ended up getting first runner up, and I did my first salsa solo on stage. So it's
That's amazing. That's awesome. And you built your team, right?
Yep.
The One Social Realty, and as a team lead, I want to know: is there any challenge that you have come by leading the team?
Yeah, any challenge I think I come across is like, I guess, limiting beliefs in myself, because I'm a reflection of what my realtors do, and I also run a community of realtors outside of this across Ontario, so I really have to like check my beliefs and see like what I think about the market, what I think about this business, what I think about improving my systems in my business before I teach it to somebody else. So it's just a reflection of who I am. But I would say like my limited beliefs are the main thing stopping me. It's nothing like there's nothing inherently, hard about the business or meeting other people. It's literally like how you represent yourself to that.
Right.
It's the hardest thing.
And I can tell that you have a high standard on yourself. You want to make sure you deliver right message, the right information, and educating people.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Thank you. That's something I'm working on. Sometimes I'm too hard on myself, I think. So
Yeah, is that how we grow up? How you grow up?
yeah, well, definitely. You know how it is. Like,
Yeah. Even though you were born and raised here,
Yeah.
but still the culture impacts you.
Exactly. It's like you're held to a very high standard from a young age on kind of behavior.
What is the one thing that happened in your childhood that you actually think that shaped who you are today? It could be good or bad.
Okay. The one thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
In your childhood that made you or shaped you who you are today.
that's a good question. I need to think on that a second. I think it was seeing my parents work in a factory, like during when they first came to Canada, like they were just working full time and then not really getting anywhere. Like they were working to survive. And my mother, she eventually developed like the same thing that I did. It was the thyroid issues and all of that, and she had to keep working through it. And she injured herself in the factory as well. And I thought, I never want to put myself or my children in a position where we have to do this and we have to break ourselves down in order to work and to survive. And it's funny, like I literally repeated the pattern. And when I first started in real estate, but I did learn, and at least I had the resources. Like
You realize that's like really fast.
yes, yeah. I mean, I had the financial resources and everything to be able to step back, and they didn't, So that was like a huge part of my childhood, like seeing them like work so hard.
But in the survival mode.
Exactly, yeah. And that, what else could they do, right? Like they just came to Canada from wartime. I didn't want to, waste this opportunity because we're so like blessed to be able to have these opportunities here.
Right.
So it's a good way to see that, that you're blessed to be able to do this instead of being forced to do it. And I think before I felt like I was forced because I saw this from that. But I've really taken a different perspective and seen like everything that we've been able to build with the past years.
So let's end up this. We both married with a quite Chinese husband.
That is true.
Yeah, and if they're actually sitting here watching us, what do you think that they will say about our conversation?
I don't think they say anything.
Me neither.
They just sit there and smile shyly.
Yeah, not talking.
You mean if they were saying their thoughts?
Yeah. I don't think they will say anything. That's how quiet they are.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I like him because he's choosy with his words. So
yeah, that's true. There's always you complement each other when you find partner, right? You're outgoing and you need someone to hold the put the feet down.
keep grounded. Yeah.
Exactly. That's awesome. Okay, so let's wrap up with this. Beyond all the deals you closed, beyond all the investment you purchased, and beyond all the success you have had, what legacy that you want to leave behind to the people today?
I guess the main thing would be that you don't have to work yourself into the ground to be successful. And I thought it was BS like 2 years ago. I really thought it was BS. I thought you had to like really grind and work hard, and you do up to a point, but there has to be a moment. It's like you have to give yourself some grace. And I got more success than ever by taking a step back and just, not chasing. And that's I had a bit of that philosophy from the very beginning. I never chased clients before. I always I worked hard to get them to come to me, but I think it did not have to work that hard. I didn't have
Because you attract the people.
yeah, and I think a lot of the anguish I went through was literally just it was in my head. It was like a self-fulfilling prophecy. So I think that yeah, to find success, you work on yourself and then your business is gonna follow naturally.
That's amazing. I love that. Well, thank you so much for listening to this episode. And I believe our today's listener that have lots of takeaway from our conversation. And thank you so much for being here. And again, just a reminder, beyond every deal, there is a person, and beyond every challenge, there's opportunity. And then beyond every success, there's a story worth sharing. And Erin Liu, see you next time.